feel complete in the movie. That's when I saw that, I thought, okay, maybe I have to start watching movies from then on, regularly. That looked amazing.
2 years maybe, and I think Ready Player One is a possible thing to have. I think you will get sick.
I haven't had a problem at all.
Maybe now you're getting older.
Hello and welcome back to the next episode of the GP podcast with Stefan, aka Bazooka Bird, who's getting rid of his clothes now. We are doing this one naked. And me, myself, Mick, aka Van Mick. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Today's topic is VR gaming the future? So we're going deep into the life project of Mark Zuckerberg. And before that, we're asking Mr. Bazooka Bird and myself what is going on in the next days in case of gaming and private life. Let's shoot.
All right, so let's start with private, and welcome guys to the podcast. So private, I have to bring back the mother from my wife to the airport. So she's flying this weekend back to Germany. And I think we have no meetup this week. So chilling maybe at the beach. And yeah, we have actually no plans for... I play paddle at Friday. So looking forward to that. This time with a nice group. And otherwise, I want to make the hero raid this week, so finish 8 of 8. That's my goal for this week. I will actually start my own group, so let's see how this will work. I'll make a raid leader this week also.
So you're also playing Frost again as a tank?
No. No, that's only possible in LFR. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Last week I joined LFR and I was outside Frosty camp. And the tank was already starting the fight, and I was thinking, yeah, let's go fight. And then I thought, oh shit, I was Frosty K. But it worked, so we did finish the boss easy.
Yeah.
So, and I was like top 3 in the damage rank, so pretty awesome. Yeah. What are your plans for? Yeah, what are your plans for week?
On Saturday, I have in the morning a meetup again, breakfast meetup.
They do like a lot of
the same
meetups
group.
in Japan.
Yeah, they do it every week, and but this one I went to this week was or under the week was private, but with digital nomads,
Okay.
So it was not hosted by this one
all
guy,
right.
but
Got
it
it.
was only a few of us. So on the weekend is the actual meetup then.
Mhm.
Yeah. This will be at a very nice cafe in Tokyo with a beautiful scenery, but I hope the weather will be good. Then it will be nice. But other than when the weather is bad, then it will still be nice, but you cannot enjoy the nature,
Yeah.
So that will be on Saturday. On Friday, I have to get to buy a couple stuff for the present for my sister because she has birthday in 6 days, and I want to make a little box which I sent to Germany then. That I have to do tomorrow because it takes 5 days to transport it.
All
I
right.
hope she doesn't listen to the podcast, but I don't think so.
Don't say
Yeah,
what's
that's my-
inside the box.
Yeah, right. That's the quest for the Friday, and also I want to, as I told in the last one, in the last podcast, I want to try Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, so that will also be a quest for the weekend. And if I have time, I will check out a clothing store as well to buy a little bit more stuff because clothing in Japan is very good quality and very, very cheap. So that's the best thing to
Nice.
buy new things. And I have a lot of very old stuff I have to get rid of. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That's my thing, yeah. Okay, then let's start into the topic. Is VR the gaming of the future? Is VR gaming the future? Let's discuss
Yes.
this topic. Yes, okay, that's it with the podcast, guys. See you in the next one. Just kidding. Yeah.
You want to
What
start?
kind? I start
Alright.
with the question. What kind of a potential does VR gaming have at the moment with the current technology?
Okay, the potential. Well, not like it should. If you, like for me, it's always I compare it every time to Ready Player One. So that's the goal line, for example. Maybe even afterwards there's something better if you maybe have something with a chip and you can join to a world or something like crazier stuff. But Ready Player One is for me like the end goal. And at the moment, there's not any kind of technology which is near to that because it is hard to like in Ready Player One, everyone had this kind of headset, I call it now, and today the headsets are too expensive that a lot of people can have. It is not good enough. You get sick motion because your body is not moving, so you need actually something. Um, so it is limited, but still a few kind of games are really nice to play. For example, I had also VR, and the most game I enjoyed to play was
Lightsaber.
Lightsaber. No, Beat Saber, not Lightsaber.
Beat Saber. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lightsaber was the thing for the Meta Quest, and Beat Saber was the thing for PlayStation. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
know actually, but yeah,
Mm.
Beat Saber I joined to play because you didn't get any stick motion because you was standing and hitting and your arms was also moving. You could play it easily 1-2 hours. That was nice. And I had also one game where I had a gun. That was also really nice to play and it feels really good. The only thing, if you play it 1 hour, you are so sick afterwards, and I had to lay it down like for 1 hour because I felt so sick. It was really heavy.
Really? Did you
Yeah,
had problems with sick motion? Crazy.
yeah, crazy. It was like for example, Bunny, the husband from my sister. I
Mm.
think he played like 15 or like 30 minutes maybe,
Mm.
and he was done for the day afterwards.
Really?
Yeah, he was destroyed. But he is a little bit older than me, but
Jeez.
he was destroyed afterwards.
Mm. I
Um,
think that's only an issue for, or I thought it's only an issue for the old people.
no, it depends really on the game. If the game character in the game is really moving a lot and it's like really in action, but you're always standing, your brain is confused and doesn't mm, doesn't know what happened at the moment, and then everything is not normal in your brain, and then you get sick motion. Then you would like to throw.
Mm. Okay, so it's the feeling is the same when you ride, for example, a roller coaster, then, or
Mm, not so heavy
I never had sick motion
because a
like that.
roller coaster is, for example, 1 minute maybe, two maximum, and this game is like 30, 60 minutes, maybe 2 hours. So that's the difference. For example, if you
But the
go
feeling
to
is
a,
comparable.
yeah, I think if you do like a roller coaster, you sit,
Mm.
for example, Silver Star in Germany, Europe is one of the biggest. So you sit in, you drive it 60 minutes. I
Mm.
think you will get sick. And you
Yeah.
see like there
So
are YouTube videos where there people are trying like as much as possible, and afterwards, well, all of them are sick.
yeah, I mean, you can also get a little bit sick if it's a crazy, crazy thing. We were
Yeah.
riding something in, where was it, in Vietnam, I think.
Vietnam, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was a really crazy roller coaster, and
Yeah.
afterwards your stomach feels also a little bit
Yeah.
different, right? Not that you throw up, but a little bit irritated, you know. And I think that's the feeling, probably, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay. What are your thoughts on that?
I for myself, I had a MetaQuest 1. Was it 1 or 2? I had a MetaQuest.
I
I
think
bought a
two
MetaQuest.
actually, but I don't know.
Could be
May-
2.
Maybe we had the
Yeah,
first one.
yeah. I had one of them. And through that, I played a couple games, and I played also a MMO. There was coming a MMO out, and I played this MMO, and that was actually pretty fun because it was a little bit like Ready Player One. You know, you had a little bit that feeling because everywhere you were running inside, you had your own. Yeah, no, it was a little bit the feeling. It was
Yeah.
not perfect because it's very restricted in case of movement stuff and you only have these controllers and stuff like that. So it's it's not authentic, but you were able to get a little bit of a feeling how could it be, and that was pretty interesting because you run through the world, you can talk to people in the world when they're next to you and stuff like that. So that is very interesting, and I think the whole setup is when it will evolve in the future, and it can be very interesting, definitely. But with the current in the current state, it's interesting, but you cannot play it for too long because it gets boring because the capabilities are not too good to lets you it lets you not imagine what that you're the character because it's still like you play something, and in Ready Player One you are the character, so there's still a way to go to do that, and
Yes.
yeah, capabilities are not too great. When I think back, because my parents had a video store when I was young, and there we had the newest shit in case of I grew up with a Nintendo or PlayStation 1 and stuff like that, and they had all the games, and there was also for the PlayStation 1 there was a gun you had, a physical gun, and when you pointed with this physical gun on the screen of the TV and shoot, then it tracked. I don't know how it did that, but it tracked where the shot were going, so you could actually play a little bit like VR, but only without glasses. And that was the technology. I don't know. That was in 2000 or something like
Mm.
that, 1999 or 2000, something or that. And that was actually possible there. So the jump in case of that is not that crazy. I have to say that was possible. Only it was plugged in like a controller, and there
Yes.
was no camera or something like that.
Okay.
No camera. It was tracking that through I don't know through what, but yeah, it was
Crazy.
crazy. And when I think about the difference between these twos, there's not a lot of there's not a crazy jump in case of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, still a lot to go, I think.
Yes. What do you think? What makes VR gaming fascinating compared to traditional gaming?
Immersion.
Immersion.
I think that's immersion is definitely the thing because I saw that was crazy, and I think that could revolutionize watching movies actually because there was a trailer for the Apple Vision Pro,
Yes.
and there was that looked so amazing. It was a AI when you have the goggles on it and you
Yeah.
see your screen in front of you, but for every scene the AI renders your completely room like
Yes.
in this like the scene, like the actual
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
And that means you feel complete in the movie. That's when I saw that I thought, okay, maybe I have to start watching movies from then on regularly.
Yeah.
That looked amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I saw also. I think it was even like your favorite Disney movies, or if you watch a documentary about animals, for example, and then you're like in the forest, and that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something different if you just watch your TV. And
It's
I think, yeah, for like watching movies or documentary or anything what you normally watch, and you are like really in this kind of world, I think it's different. The only problem, and that's maybe also a next question is, or a topic is, well, if everybody wants this experience, everybody has to buy an Apple Vision Pro, and well, that's pretty. You can buy a car if you want, if you have to buy for every family member a Apple Vision Pro.
okay. You mean if you want to experience it, for example, with your family, with your
Yeah,
kids as well, then everyone needs the Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, okay, that's a
yeah,
fair point. But I think yeah, it has to be more cheap in the future, or cheaper in the future for sure.
yeah.
But at the moment, I think the Apple Vision Pro is at 1K,
I
one and
think
a half
more
K.
actually, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Have
something,
to see it
some. I
now.
think between 1 and 2K definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of money for sure. It has to change in the future, and yeah, it will probably change because
yeah,
when the demand is higher, then they can reduce the price.
yeah.
But yeah, that's in case of immersion. I think, for example, if you watch a movie, an old samurai movie or a old medieval movie, stuff like that, when you see all the armies coming and you're at the castle or something like that, and you're in the movie. I mean, yeah, I don't have to tell you how crazy that should feel. I would feel that's incredible. Yeah,
Yeah,
very good opportunity.
yeah. And I also think, for example, I think when this time is coming where it's like normal to watch movies to VR, then
Mm,
I think it will also change the movie, because then they will
mm,
decide maybe, okay, that's the best place to put in the viewer to see the scene,
mm,
for example.
yeah,
And then
sure.
maybe you have a special place actually that you're inside of a fight, and then you can see they're fighting over here or something like that. Or
Mm,
like in a horror movie, if you think about that topic, like then they're coming and want to kill you or something like that.
mm.
You can make really crazy things about, yeah. But yeah,
The opportunities are so
yeah,
high, and
that's
so much stuff you can
yeah,
implement.
yeah. All right.
Crazy. Yeah?
Do you have any question?
Um. Yes. What genres of games work best in VR? And do you think there are genres who maybe will never work for VR?
Future or at the moment?
In general, a
In
future as
general?
well.
Okay. Well, if you think about now, I think this kind of games which are like Beat Saber, like where the body has don't have to move. I think
Mm,
that's at the moment the best thing you can develop in this kind of niche, because the user will have a nice experience, and
mm,
then you have to be creative. If the body has to move, well, the player will have a nice experience, but still have sick motion afterwards, most of the time.
not
Um,
everyone.
Not everyone,
The
but I
weak
think
people, yeah.
weak people. Right. I do I no, I sold it. Okay, maybe next time if I have one, you will play 1 hour a shooter game where your body is always moving. Then we will see if you're feeling good
I, I,
afterwards.
I played I played the MMO for 3 or 4 hours, and I was moving all the time. I was also flying through in the MMO. I haven't had a problem at all.
Maybe now you're getting older.
Yeah, it's also 2 years ago. Yeah.
So yeah, but like for if you in the future, I think it will be no problem, because like you have something under you where you can move and your body is moving, your character is moving. So I think there will be no problem. I think in the future you can play every game, because
What do you think
for
about FIFA?
FIFA, I
You're not
think,
playing as a player. You cannot tell me that.
well, you could actually play FIFA, but you need to be really fit to play FIFA because
That's nobody would do that because the only hardcore players in FIFA are these who cannot participate on the field.
yeah,
Maybe some.
yeah, maybe it is well, you will play the FIFA, but I think it will be maybe different of watching. For example, if you play now, you always see on like top down on your player, and now maybe if you play, you have a better view, you're in a stadium or something like that. So the feeling of playing the game is different, but maybe the playing the
Mm.
game will be the same.
So you're a little bit more immersed then, yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah. But
can be
the
possible.
immersion you can do for every kind of game, in my opinion.
The immersion for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
You can do that for every game.
yeah,
And, a very nice game was actually with the Quest. When I had the Quest was Demio. It was a board game style game where you had to roll the dice. It's a little bit more, a little bit like Dungeons and Dragons, but only with little figures and characters you can move like in chess or something like that.
yeah,
So you roll the dice and then you can attack something or walk for two pieces or something like that. So that was actually very immersive and very very cool to play as well. So board games could actually also be a very nice thing to do in VR as well, especially with people who are not in the room to play board games with. For example, I played with our friend Rodo the Demio all the time, and he was not in the room, but in the VR, he was next to you, and you speak
yeah,
with each other. It was like he's sitting next to you and we were playing the board game.
yeah,
So that is a very, very big thing, I think, for those kind of games as well in VR.
yeah,
Very good opportunity.
yep. I think like if you also think about like Ready Player One, all the players there have his own, like for example, I join in and then I'm Bazooka Bird. I have my character. I can be actually everything, and then I can move through the world, play different kind of games. You can surf, you can play this kind of shooter and go dancing or whatever. There are like so many things you can do actually, and that's why I say I think the VR world will be the next world which we are playing and we will live because yeah, it's like the topic we had I think in the first podcast. There will be a problem where people will spend more time in this kind of world than in the outside
Mm. What
because
do we have to
yeah, no, what.
what do we have to improve to get there? Or what do you think? How will the VR in the future, when we go into the future for 30 years, for example, how will the VR look like? Or how will the hardware look like we use then?
Difficult to tell. Maybe in a kind of way which is in Ready Player One in the start, but I think it will because if you watch, it's really like a clumpy thing which they have on the head and all this kind of stuff. So maybe that will also change in the future. But I think for the first step, something like that. They are in this kind
Hmm.
of wheelchair where they can run and turn and have their. I think they have hands. They have like
Yeah,
gloves in the movie.
they have. Yeah.
So something like that they can grab everything and really interact. So yeah, I think that will be not really different. So we have to get to the point where we have the the possibility to create this kind of world with the different kind of games and all this kind of stuff, to have this gadget like a suit where you can feel if somebody is touching you. When you get a hit, you feel that hit and all this kind of stuff. And I think nothing more you need to have to get like a nice feeling. So I think we're pretty close actually. So I think from now 2 years maybe, and I think Ready Player One is a possible thing to have.
Yeah, when I was, for example, on the Tokyo Games Show, I saw a guy with a vest, a haptical vest, you know. So we have already these kind of things. We have also the gloves for it. We have a lot of things. The treadmill already is there
Yeah.
for to run. So if you combine it, everything, you will be broke, but you also
Yeah,
have
that's the
a
problem, yeah.
crazy experience then. So when you summarize everything, it will probably cost you $100,000 or something like that. So that's not affordable yet, but I think we could actually create it at the moment. We only have to make it possible for everyone to buy it, and
Yeah.
more practical maybe, so that you don't have to sacrifice your one whole room or something like that in your apartment. So yeah, but we're probably very very close. Yeah.
Yeah. It will be interesting which company will be the leader in this space.
Yeah, I think it all starts with the goggles, right? That is the main product, and probably the most important one as well, because the whole hardware is in there to produce everything you see, and the sense of seeing is the most important there. So that is the most important one, and at the moment it's a race between Meta and Apple. Probably is something. No, I think that's it. Yeah, Meta and Apple are probably the most advanced ones. So a race between these two, and when you have the goggles, you can bring up next all the different kind of accessoires.
Yeah.
So accessories. Yeah.
All right. Do you think if we talk about Apple and Meta, because Meta is, I think, more moving into the direction AR, like augmented
AR. Okay.
reality, yeah, AR.
Mm.
So do you think that this is maybe the future instead of VR?
I think you can create. I think these are two different things actually, because when you use AR, you can modify the whole world we are living in at the moment in AR. You can, for example, when I wear the AR goggles, you are in a complete different world, because every building looks different. For example, every building has different advertisement. Everything in the real world you can modify. So that could also transform into a cyberpunk 2044, for example, only with AR goggles. But if you want to create something completely new, if you want to go into a complete fantasy world, like in a different universe, for example, not something we have here, then you have to go into the VR. So I think in general, VR will be the future of gaming, and AR will be the future of living in the world here. I think
Yeah,
there's nothing going around it.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
we are as a civilization, we are going the technology path. You can imagine it like a talent tree, right? So we are scaling in the talent tree of the technology path. We had a couple options when we were born, but we are going into the technology path. So this is obviously the future. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, makes sense. I would agree.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't imagine so far, but maybe Apple will be the way to go if you want to game, like gaming. They will create the gaming world, and maybe Meta is going for the real world.
I mean, the prototype they showed recently,
Yeah.
Meta, that was actually impressive. And if they can make it that compact in the next years, that would be definitely something in the AR world where they are the best company and the most
Mhm.
developed. Yeah, definitely. That was impressive. Um, with that comes a lot of crazy stuff. So how could social interaction change in the gaming world if VR becomes more widespread?
I think
Do we
it
need
will.
do we need our app Gamers Playground then anymore?
Yes, of course, because Gamers Playground will have his own spot in the VR world, guys.
Mm.
We already ready. We only need the playground where we can develop our application in this world.
The software is already ready for the VR world. We only need the hardware. We only need
Yeah,
Mark Zuckerberg to develop it.
yeah, that's easy. How it is.
Mm.
No, the vision is there, so there will be still a Gamers Playground when this time is ready. Because yeah, I have a lot of nice ideas for that. So just waiting to get ready. But what was your question? About connections. I think like if you like we can tell our story. We thought about to buy the Meta Quest 2, I think, for example, or Meta Quest 1, to because we are traveling and you have like and I had before I traveling I had I think 2 or 3 screens doing working and all of this kind of stuff, and then I was thinking I can't work with one laptop, so that was not imaginable for me. So I think like the problem solution would be the Meta Quest. So then I can create my different kind of screens. I am immersed in the um, universe or
Workspace.
something like there, and it was a nice idea to think, and we tried it. And for example, what was nice was actually the meeting room. So you were in the meeting room and you could see really like Michael in front of you, so that was really nice feeling. But everything else was shit. Well, because the screen record was not really good, so it was not clear. It was hard to read actually. So it was not possible to work with that. Um, but I think this is the future, because if I'm sitting here in Portugal, Michael in Japan, and we have a meeting, of course we can do it like this through Discord or something like that. But if I can really see him in his character or something like that, and I can shake his hands and I feel that he is like taking my hand, um, I think that's different, and your body is also reacting different instead of just talking through a screen. So, and same for gaming. If you're doing, I don't know, for example, we play shooter, and we are a squad, Rodo, Oka, you and me, and we are going through battlefield, and next to me, Rodo is exploding from something, from a grenade or something like that. And I
Mm.
feel the explosion and I see him laying down. I think it's more real to you, and then your body is reacting. So I think it's a different connection
Mm.
also to others. Yeah.
It will it will be definitely crazy. And I think you when you team up with other people in multiplayer games then in VR, you get to know those people on a different level than at the moment,
Yeah.
because it's way more intimate. And when you play, for example, with someone, as you said, in Battlefield, you get probably a way bigger emotional connection to them when you see them actually dying and when you feel it, instead of only going with your controller through it and see it on the screen, because there are a lot more senses involved, right? Not only sensing it through your eyes and your ears, you're also sensing it through your whole body. That's the difference. It will be completely different, yeah. And you also have, for example, those I don't know at the moment what the name of the game is, but there's the game where you can create rooms and play games with each other. It's only a game to meet up in this world and do stuff in it. Um, VR Room is the one of them, and the other one is something else. But yeah, these games are also very very nice then to meet people and to make a
Yep.
social interaction. You don't have to go outside actually anymore to meet people. It's way more comfortable to do that. Or as I told before, the board games, and you that's only the beginning. I mean, if you enhance the whole technology and stuff like that, then you see the person, the actual person there in the room, and you can play with them chess or Uno or Monopoly or stuff. Yeah, it's games like that. That will change a lot of things, and you can connect. Yeah, you can connect like crazy with people around the world more than ever. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's ridiculous to think about it at the moment, no, but it's actually so near. Yeah,
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
true. Yeah. Do you have a next question?
Do you think VR gaming will become mainstream, or will it be like a niche?
That's actually a good question. What should happen or what should change for sure is the whole hardware. But if we can solve that thing, I think it will be a genre. I think because a lot of people want to play the classic way, the normal way on a mouse and keyboard because they think it's too exhausting to do that. Probably because you have to use all your senses, and the more senses the body has to use, the more exhausting it is for the body. That's that's plausible. So yeah, a lot of people want to probably chill still and want to have that as a niche product. But when we look further into the future, maybe 50 years from now, or no, it's not that far away. It's probably only 15 years or something like that. When you
Five.
have a chip in your brain and you think only about okay, let's activate the VR mode, and you think about it, and then you're in the VR world. It's a different story. Then everything is like that. That's then we're talking about we're cyborgs, right? So
Yes.
that changes everything. That changes gaming as well. It's nothing is normal then anymore.
Yeah.
It's all about the progress in hardware, I think.
Yeah. I think that's the main problem. Yeah. Do you want to go on?
What does the metaverse has to do with VR gaming in the future? Does it has anything to do? Will metaverse be the Ready Player One universe, or will it fail?
I think it has to be, otherwise it will fail. Because you need in the end you need one place which everything's connect. That you need this like you as a character to go into the metaverse world, and from there you can cross over to Ubisoft, to Blizzard, to whatever, and but you still always develop your character. And if you play this kind of games, for example, like for example, World of Warcraft, to imagine to play through VR is actually quite hard because you think about all the skills you need. Like how would you ever do that? But I think the game will also
You think about
develop.
it.
And what do you think?
No, you think about the spell like you react in real life with your body, right?
Yeah, like, but I think it will change. Like, maybe you will not have like 5 different fireballs, you will have one fireball, and the cars will be like something like if you do a Jutsu in Naruto. You have that
Mm,
kind of movements, and these movements will do something.
mm,
But even that will be nice if you can throw fireballs. I don't care if it's 4 different fireballs, I can throw fireballs. So I think,
mm,
but you need one place where everything is connecting, that you go through a portal, then you're in the shooter area, and then you can decide, okay, I will play this kind of game, or like Ready Player One. He's going through portals and then he's inside somewhere, or go to the beach, connect with other surfers, or something like that. And then it's like a big universe where you travel through the universe and go to different places, but everything is connected through one place. Same like Ready Player One. I would say that's
mm.
that's the main. I think otherwise it will not work or feels not like real, because then you go from one browser to the next one browser and you have always to log in back, or you have special character there and special character there. It feels not like Ready Player One then,
Okay.
in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it will be similar as in the Quest, that you have the hub,
Hmm.
and in this hub you have your whole room or something like that, your scenery where you start, where you can walk around and stuff like that. But I don't think that that character is connected to every game. I don't think that it's like the metaverse. I think in the near future it will definitely be like, okay, you're in that room and from there you can do everything. In this room you can use your PlayStation 5, for example, and start the game from Battlefield and have that's a complete different experience, and the character is only tied to this game, and the games are like at the moment. So I think there's this hub definitely like in the MetaQuest, but it's not connected to any game, I think.
All right. What do you think will be the worst thing what could happen if we have a Ready Player One situation?
So if you have a very immersive world, you could go in.
Yeah.
Mm, it all depends. It all depends. We discussed in the first podcast. It was, I think, in which direction the world
Second one,
goes.
I think.
Second
Or
one, yeah.
first, yeah. Depends, yeah.
In which direction the world goes. Um, yeah. If we have a reason to go all the time into the metaverse, then we will use it because we're only humans and we go there where is the most fun or most good emotions, right? And
Yes.
yeah, but it all depends. It all depends what the world will look like. If the world is very nice and you can do a lot of cool things in real life, then you will use the real life. If you can do crazy things in the metaverse and it gives you way more fun and way more joy in general, then you will spend a lot of time in the metaverse. So yeah,
Yeah.
it all depends on real life. What do you think?
I think there will be a lot of problems, and I think the big companies will doesn't care about these big problems and will try to make us as much as possible money
Mm,
with that possibility. So yeah, I think there will be a problem. Otherwise, there are some Elon Musk developer who create a nice world where everything is clean.
mm.
But let's see. I think it will be first. It will be more likely evil than healthy.
Yeah, I mean, if you imagine you have your character in the metaverse, then, and you can spend money to give your character, in which you are actually, a new skin or something like that. That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
You're so much bond with emotions to this whole thing. Imagine how much money the people will spend, and the companies will milk it. They will milk it like
yeah.
crazy, definitely.
Or yeah. Also, if you can create your own house in whatever on
True.
Mars
No.
and something like that, and you can put inside crazy stuff and you can chill there. Why should I buy a nice house in real life, which cost me way more, and then people will spend all the money in this world?
True.
Or advertising will be also crazy. Everything. It will be crazy time, I think.
It will definitely, yeah.
All right. But as the most gamers, hopefully, we are pro Ready Player One, so we hope it will be soon there.
We will see if it happens. But what actually will happen is that you open the App Store and search for Gamers Playground in the App Store and the Google Play Store. Because there you can find new teammates. And what else can you find there, Stefan?
You can join guilds, you can create guilds, you can join events, you can create events, and all this kind of nice stuff. You can swipe through, find like-minded people, a lot of nice stuff, everything for free. So enjoy your time in our application, and as always, we see us in the next podcast.
See you guys.